to the Ladywing Designs channel. My name is Zakia, and this is a crafty channel, mostly about yarn, especially lately it seems, and cross stitch. So yeah, welcome to anyone that's new. Welcome to returning viewers. I hope you're all doing well. Yeah, and that you uh, like the content I'm putting out here. So today is, I swear I have no idea what the date is anymore. I am barely remembering that it's Friday though. So there's that. And of course, I have already dropped a stitch. Okay, we're gonna try to have less struggles in this one, in this video, than the one on Monday. That's gonna be our goal today. So, yeah, today is Friday. Let me fix my hands in the camera here. Today is Friday, January the 15th, 2021. Practically the same time it was in the last craft with me, but that's okay. I like recording in the mornings for all of my videos. It's just easier to get up, get it done, edit, all that stuff. So, yeah, we are here on a Friday morning. And I really wanted to record a whip update sometime this week, but I don't know. I think it's I think it's because I'm gonna recap just a little bit, kind of the last things that happened in 2020, and not like telling you about life or anything. Just some of the crafts I did want to show, like, and it's mostly like, hey, here's what I finished, in the event that people didn't watch Vlogmas and didn't watch November vlogs. I did kind of want to show sort of the last things that I finished in 2020. I might end up cutting a few more things out of that list. I don't know. We'll see. But that's why I'm filming a craft with me right now instead of a whip update, because there's just a lot of stuff. Because even the whips that I will be showing you all, it is not going to be everything that I've worked on since the last whip update. But I will kind of show you some highlights. And the way that I'm kind of leading the highlights, um, at least for whips, is that I'm gonna try to show y'all projects. Needles are coming. I still haven't found a key, go figure, for my cables. Anyway, the whips that I'm going to show you in the whip parade, I'm kind of leaning towards showing you ones that I know I'm trying to finish. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with the whips to show you. Like I said, I'll probably try to figure out a way to show fewer FOs from the end of the year. Um, but I already tried doing that, and it's looking like I've already kind of chopped it down to the quote unquote most important things. So, if anything, it'll either be a really long video again, which I know some of y'all out there really enjoy, or I will just be moving and, giving you like the details real quick and moving through each project, because it's a lot. It's so much. So, yeah, that's why we're here doing a craft with me. I just did not feel like pulling all of that stuff out and sitting down for hours, but I did still want to give y'all another video for the week. So here we are, doing a craft with me. And as you can see, so links to everything that I mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and just say this now because I meant to say it right after my intro, but links to everything that I talk about, and anyone that I mention, They will all be linked down below in the description box, as well as where you can find me on the interwebs. And there's also a link for a Buy Me a Pattern page if you would like to support the channel and my, I don't know what word was I looking for? My, I don't, designing endeavors. I don't know, just supporting the channel, really. I don't know what I was trying to say there. Anyway, I think there was a specific word and I couldn't think of it. Anyway, I am working on a new pair of socks. If you did see the last craft with me or just follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that I posted about the socks Monday morning on Instagram, then recorded a stitch with me, and then I think either the next day or maybe it was Wednesday, I don't remember now, but I finished the socks, are my point. I was just loving them so much that I could not put them down, and that is exactly how I'm feeling about this pair of socks as well. And I'm saying pair because this is the second sock. So let me grab the first one. So I basically knit this sock within one day. And I'm not sad about it. It was seriously just what I needed. I'm definitely on a knitting kick, definitely on a sock knitting kick again, which I'm really excited about because it was either 2019 or 2018 that I knit like almost 2 dozen socks, and it might not be that many again, but I really just miss knitting socks. So they're one of my favorite things to knit. I wear my socks all year round, my hand knits, so I can never have too many as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, so this is the one that I finished earlier this week, and I'm knitting these toe up, as you can tell. I'm starting down here at the toe. So yeah, I'm knitting them toe up, and with a German short row heel. So I'm using, my written instructions for a German short row heel, which there's a video for on my YouTube channel, and I will be redoing that once I put out the vanilla sock pattern that I'm writing. But I used my write up for the German short row heel, and I also, whenever I do a German short row heel for my foot, I have to include the mini heel flap adjustment, which is by the Knitting Expat. If you buy her Mina's vanilla sock recipe pattern, and it's only like $2, I think. But if you buy her vanilla sock recipe pattern, she has the instructions in there for this mini gusset here. So yeah, and there are instructions for it toe up and cuff down with your regular yarn and with a contrast yarn. So any way that you're trying to do it, she has it in there. I have done pretty sure all 4 methods. I don't know if I've done cuff down with a contrast yarn, but I've definitely done toe up, both contrast yarn and without, and I know I've done cuff down with the main yarn. So it's really great. It just adds that little extra room with a gusset if you need it, which I have discovered I do. So yeah. Oh, I totally forgot to mention the yarn. That's kind of why I was holding it there so long. So this main colorway, whoops, here is Knit Picks Felici in the Seafaring colorway. Again, everything will be down in the description box. So I love it. I love Felici. I haven't been able to buy any in a while now, but I'm hoping that I can. Maybe this year. That would be really nice. I love their yarn. I love striping yarn anyway, so yeah. I'm just loving my knitting lately, y'all. What can I say? And then this is the contrast color. I'm pretty sure that this is the mini that came with the Alice sock set that I got from McMullen Fiber Co. So yeah, I made some socks out of that. And what I do with my when I have minis that are solid colors, especially if I like use them for socks or something, I have a bag in my yarn stash, that a Ziploc bag, that has a bunch of like solid colored mini skeins. Yeah, and so I keep those for when I want to do contrast in socks, and I kind of have something, a little stash to pick from. And I have a ton of shades of blue in that bag, so it would be nice to start using some of those because there's some really pretty shades of blue. Most of them I actually got from a mini skein set well, it's 2021 now. Well, it would still would have been like 3.5 years ago though, because it was during the summer. Anyway, yeah, so that's what we're working on today. More socks. I as you can see, I finished the toe and I'm on to the foot, so just working up. This sock has 58 rows. I haven't yet gotten back to a point where because I used to, I knit socks so often and, know my gauge and everything, that I didn't have to count and measure each sock, like, oh, how far, is this long enough? I would just work off of my recipe for myself. So I think that I used to do 62 or 63 rounds for for like the foot of my sock, and I wouldn't have to count that. I would just place a marker in the first row and knit to whatever number I needed because I knew that that was what I needed for my socks. But I've mentioned this, I've recently gone up a needle size because now I'm using US zeros, which are 2.0 millimeter needles. So now I'm using US zeros for my socks instead of double zeros. So yeah, which I'm really enjoying. So enjoying it. Um, Today's totally going to be rambling. My brain's going everywhere. So for those of you that like the rambles, this is an episode for you. Aren't they all though? Anyway, that was making me think about um, some 9-inch circular needles. So these, you can kind of see my cable here. There's a loop and then the two ends. So that's a circular needle, because you could knit something, that's circular, in the round, and yeah, and then you can just knit it in the round. But circular needles, and I'm using the magic loop method here, but circular needles also come in tiny sizes, which, speaking of which, Chaogu has two, like, tiny, small circular, there we go, that's what I'm looking for. They have two small circular sets, one with sock sizes, or, well, smaller size needles. I think it's like zeros to threes or something. And then one with more quote unquote average size needle tips. I think it's like fours through eights. But anyway, they have some of those sets where the needle tips are like a lot shorter and the cables that are included are shorter so that you can do small circumference things. I want both sets. They're both $100, so I'm totally keeping those at the top of my wish list for 2021 though. Although it'll be a while because my birthday's in November and Christmas is in December, so I got all year to hopefully remember those. But anyway, that's not where I was going with that. I really, since they became a thing, I have wanted to be one of the people that falls in love with 9-inch circulars because I think it's so brilliant. You can just knit round and round and round and round and round. Like I said, I've wanted them since they like hit the market and really took off and became popular in the knitting world. And I did get some eventually, but this was back when I was knitting on double zeros, and it seemed like it was going to be too tight around, and Recently I've been listening to some people that talk about a few different people, but I've been listening to people talk about them and how like you kind of just have to, keep going a little bit because it's going to be tight, but then it'll work out. And I don't know if that would have happened for my size sock. I only do 60 stitches, but yeah, it was uncomfortable and I didn't really like it. And then I remember that I was knitting a pair of socks for my boyfriend at some point, and I tried knitting the sock on there for him, and it worked. It reached around because it was 72 stitches, so it reached around the whole needle just fine. But it was a new technique and it was changing my gauge a little bit, which I think is normal because it was new. And I didn't like it quite as much. And I was impatient and I didn't want to take the time to kind of get used to it, especially when I was knitting something for someone else that I really wanted to fit correctly. So I never used them again, quite honestly. So anyway, all that to say, I really, whenever I'm able to spend the money on some needles, because money's been tight, I would really like to order some 9-inch circulars from Chowgu in the uh, US 0 size and see how I like them and just kind of give it a test run because I don't know. I really want to be a 9-inch circular knitter. I just think they're so tiny and they're adorable and they're effective, but yeah, it did not work the first time, and I figure now since I am falling in love with a new needle size, I might as well give it another go, right? So yeah, future needle endeavors. That is the word that I was looking for earlier. When I was talking about the Buy Me a Pattern, my future designing endeavors, future endeavors for the channel. That is the word. I knew that it started with an E, but the second that I went to actually say the word, it completely just disappeared. It was like at the tip of my tongue and I completely lost it. And that's usually what happens to me. Like I'll know, like it starts with this letter, but I can't think of it. So there you go. I knew it would come to me later, and I'm glad it happened on camera. So I could at least explain myself. But yeah, endeavors. That is the word that I was looking for. So yeah, if you can hear the kind of uh, clicking sound there, that is my needle cord hitting against the tripod. So yeah. Oh, also another thing to mention, because I mean, I always hear people say someone will probably ask, and someone probably will because I don't show this often, but also who knows if you'll ask or not, but I'm gonna mention it. I'm gonna move out of the camera for a second with my hands so that you can see this, but I am working on top of my first Cozy Memories blanket today. My legs were a little chilly, and I have on my pajama pants, the ones that you have so frequently seen. Oh, that's not far enough. The ones that you've so frequently seen in vlogs and things. But yeah, my legs were cold, so I was like, let's just. It was just funny because these pajama pants are like pretty warm and floofy, but they weren't quite enough. So I keep this Cozy Memories blanket on my couch now, and it's great for just curling up under and relaxing when I just need some warmth. So yeah, that's what this is. I think right in this section you're mostly seeing advent skeins and mini skeins. Oh, you can't see this one. This gray one was a pair of socks that I made for my boyfriend, which he wears all the time, and I love that he wears them. Um, this is one of my favorite colors that I refound when I was doing mini skeins for the second Cozy Memories. I think that's where I rediscovered this color, but I love it. It makes me think of my mom because her favorite color is purple. And then the one that just I'm glad that it's still in the camera. I had to put it in the camera because it just so happened that it was right on screen when I was setting up. But this, I want to say, I think it's from Jinx Yarn, who stopped dyeing yarn years ago. It made me sad, but she had been dyeing a while before I kind of entered the hand dyed community, so all is well. But anyway, a friend gave me like 30 grams or something of this skein, and I have only used it like one. Oh, note to self, this needs to go in my second cozy memories because I have some more of it. I need to find that so I can put it in the next blanket. But this is her, I think it was called 9 3/4, the colorway. It's a Harry Potter colorway. I don't think I need to say much more than that for you to understand the color scheme here. And one part that I do really, really appreciate and love is the fact that she did the actual Ravenclaw colorways, which is the blue and brown, not the blue and silver that is in the movie series. So, yeah. Anyway, a little kind of tour around some of the colorways that are kind of right here. Now I'm just like obsessed with putting that Harry Potter colorway back in the screen. So, okay, let's do this. I'm just gonna move it over a little bit. How about that? Because my hands need to be over some. Okay, but yeah. So I'm working on top of my Cozy Memories blanket. Um, yeah, there won't be much going on today. I've been really struggling. And I've found that so in 2018, during January, there was some tough things happening mentally for me, and I was diagnosed with anxiety that January of 2018. And I noticed it last year that this time of year I was just super anxious and a little dealing with some depression, and I feel like I don't know if I am. I feel like it might take me like another year or so before I really kind of figure that out. But I feel like I am somewhat affected by seasonal affective disorder, so like the lack of sunlight and that kind of thing. But like I said, we'll see. Maybe this time next year I'll be like, yeah, this definitely is a thing that I need to address. But yeah, this time of year is especially January. Always, oh, darn it. Hold please. I'm trying to get this stitch. Okay, there we go. So yeah, this time of year always just it weighs down on me, and not gonna lie, I'm coming into the new year, and the winter semester. So if you don't know, I am taking a break from schooling right now. This would have been my 6th year at the University of Alabama, which is yeah. So I mean, basically, I've taken this entire year off because I took a break during the fall, and apparently I'm still taking a break during the spring, and that's okay. Like it's fine. I just coming into this new year and coming off of 2020, um, there were just a lot of personal things happening and a lot of personal things that weren't happening. And, even though I know that I'm not a failure and I'm making it just like everyone else out there, we're doing the best we can to hang on, I am honestly just feeling like a failure lately. So, and I should say, not in my crafting, although I haven't been touching any of my the few goals that I did set for myself, but I'm not quite as worried about that. So I'm not talking about crafting here, just real life, adulting, the other stuff. Yeah, I've been really hard on myself lately, and I'm trying not to be. And I think, oh, excuse me, and I think a lot of that is the anxiety and the depression coming through. So yeah, it's just been a hard week. A hard couple of weeks mentally, but I'm just proud of myself for recognizing these things now, Like even just noticing that there's an issue and knowing that I want to take care of it and that I need to take care of it. I feel like that's a win. So, but I've also kind of known these things for a little bit of time now. So it's at that point where it's like, okay, you recognize these things, but you can't, there's only so much crying and being down on yourself you can do. Um, so yeah, I need to get my own ass in gear and solve some of the issues that I know I could literally solve if I just stop being lazy and procrastinating and putting them off. So yeah, um, just everyday life, I guess. I guess that's what I was trying to say there. But yeah, it's gonna be okay. So anyway, there's not, like I said, there's not much happening today. I'm really looking forward to the live stream tonight with Louise for over on the Fiber Friends Friday Night Knit In Facebook group that will, of course, be linked down below. Please come over and join us. We always have a lot of fun over there. I'm interested if we will get to talking about some type of food tonight. A lot of the time, oh no, dropping a stitch. Okay, a lot of the times there, we do end up talking about some type of food. Not always, but a lot of times. Okay, sorry, can't see some. I should have put my glasses on actually because the problem is that the knitting is a little bit farther from my face than it usually is. Um, yeah, so I should have just put on my glasses, but it's fine. And we're almost done here, so it won't really matter. We've got like another 5 minutes. I just turn the camera on and let myself record these up until I kind of know like around what time my tablet will just cut me off. So I just record up like close until that time. So if you're ever like, oh, this is kind of an abrupt ending, like all of a sudden we're done with the craft with me, that's kind of why, because sometimes I will get to talking and forget to, I do like periodically think to myself, hey, look at the time, but sometimes, I forget and and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, let me try to end this so I don't have to put two clips together. But okay, yeah. This weekend will be probably very knitty. I'm thinking I'm just really into my knitting lately. And I'll talk about this more when I do record an update. But I have this week fallen down the rabbit hole of Twitch craft streaming. And I knew that some people in the cross stitch community were starting to do that over there. I know Stitching Jules does that over there. And I do follow a couple of people that have been doing stitching on there, but mostly what I've been watching is people who are streaming their knitting. Is anyone surprised? No? Yeah, neither am I. I don't know what to say, y'all. This might be a very yarny year where the last couple have definitely been cross stitch obsessed and focused. I don't know. I'm feeling like this might be a very knitty year. I've already got some knitting pattern designs that I want to do. Uh, so yeah, I'm really excited. Which, speaking of those, I need to look into and kind of ask some of my designer friends how they go about yarn support. Because I have some yarn that I want to use for one of my designs, and I might do like a test knit of it in that yarn for myself to kind of work out kinks and stuff and to use that yarn because it was a gift from a friend. But well, and it's two skeins, so they were a gift from a friend. But I also, and I'm just assuming that it works the same for the Yarny community. Michelle Bindi talked about this on one of her videos, how when you design, some people are like, I want it to look the exact same as the model or whatever. And so you want to work with threads and fabrics that, are accessible and people can get their hands on. And, she's a cross stitch designer. She doesn't design in knitting. And I haven't heard anyone say, speak on that subject, but it makes sense that I would want to design with yarn that people would have access to, like that is still available for people to buy. So I'm thinking about that, because at first I was just gonna practice on some different yarn and then knit up the model in the yarn that I have from my friend. But I was just thinking, like, how easy would this yarn be to get? Which I haven't looked into that either. So, I could still be going that route. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, so we shall see. I like I said, I don't know where I'm going with that, but the funny thing is that I have, so I'll just say that, okay, hold on. So I'm looking at my timer now and it's getting close to the cutoff point, but I feel like I'm not done talking and I still want to chat. So I'm gonna stop this video and start another one right now, and don't worry, you won't miss anything. But yeah, I'm just gonna do that so that it won't cut me off mid-combo here. Okay. And literally that will be perfect for editing me because I'm just gonna add both videos and I won't have to like cut anything out or yeah. So yay. But anyway, yeah, so I have a hat design and a cowl design that I've been thinking about that I want to do. And I also have a shawl design that I've been planning for a couple years now. And I'm hoping that some inspiration will come to me for that because I really want to design it. But yeah, it hasn't been the right time when I've tried in the past. So I'm hoping that I'll get some mojo, some ideas for that one. But I was thinking about color work and designing, and yeah, it took like 15-20 minutes, and then I had kind of a sketch of the design worked out, the color work pattern that I want to do. So, we're really looking forward to that. You'll probably be seeing, which I should actually do that. You'll probably be seeing uh, some like color work cowl or color work hat from me coming recently. So maybe I'll do that during a craft with me too. Because that would be really nice. But yeah, so you'll probably be seeing that whether here or in the future whip updates, so that I can practice, get back into my color work swing of things. I've only done color work a few times throughout my knitting career. And once I kind of do it enough and get going, it's definitely more consistent, and I don't have to quite think about it, what my hands are doing and such. But it's definitely been a while since I've knit any, and I actually have an elephant cowl. I'll show it at some point whenever I pull it out again. But I actually have an elephant cowl that I started years ago out of some red and gray yarn, because it's elephants and it was red and gray yarn. Okay, so okay, let me just talk about this now because I love that project. I'm not going to show it to you, but I really hope to be getting back to it. I don't remember the designer, but the pattern is the Walking with Elephants cowl. I know that it's on Ravelry. I'm not sure if you can find it somewhere else. When I link things below, I'll be looking for that, so you'll know. It will say down below if it is on Ravelry. if the link goes to Ravelry, rather. But anyway, it's called the Walking with Elephants cowl. It's colorwork, it's elephants all over. And one of the so some yarn that I bought at the time that I had found that cowl, it was a red and a gray, and one of the red was called Crimson. Okay, I go to Alabama, Crimson Tide, like perfect. And the gray was named Elephant. I was like, I think this needs to be the Walking with Elephants cowl. So I really want to finish that at some point. I got like about halfway through, I think. So I really want to get that back out and finish it at some point, but I've been really nervous about doing that because I have not been, knitting color work in forever. That was, I think, the last color work thing that I really did. Well, stranded color work, because technically striping things in or marling things, holding strands, double or triple, I think that is considered color work. I think, like assuming that you're using more than one color. I could be wrong about that. Don't take my word for it. I do not yet have my master knitter certificate, which I am hoping to eventually get. Although now I'm wondering if it's a guild that kind of sponsors that degree or certificate, so to speak. But it's hosted by a guild, and I'm not quite sure if you have to be in the guild to do that. So I should look into that for some point in the future. But anyway, I really want to get back to that. So working on some other color work will also be effective for that because we all know my knitting streak is here anyway. So I would love to get that project back out and get it finished. And then I can wear it. How fabulous. Oh, that was one of the things that I did want to mention. Oh yeah, wow. I told you it was going to be rambly. We're going down rabbit holes, we're opening random doors, taking in this strange corridor to another part of the building. It's all fine. Um, so Chelsea of the I was gonna say Chelsea Makes Podcast, which kind of, but whoops, sorry, earthquake. She has a whoops. Oh my goodness. Okay, so right here, I looked at this and I was like, huh, there's strange hole in my knitting. Let me bring this closer to the camera. I don't know if you can see that there. This stitch only had one tiny little strand that I apparently caught. So I'm gonna have to drop back down and fix that. It's all good. Won't be difficult. Let me make sure that I stop over the right stitch. Okay, so remind me in a second that we were talking about Chelsea Makes. So to drop down and you can, there are videos all over YouTube for how to fix, how to drop down and fix stitches. But I just take it off the needle and literally let it drop down and unravel. And I actually want to go here to the last one that was fully right. Wow, I cannot believe I didn't notice that until now. So I put my stitch back on the needle. So you can see it's super long because it's like basically the yarn is being pulled and carried up there. Okay, this is going to be kind of weird to show you. So you can see all of the strands there. That is the yarn that we pulled through on these other rows to knit. So sometimes, especially when you drop down this far, it can be a little, sorry, that was all off camera. It can be a little fiddly to find exactly that bottom, because you want to use those strands in the same order. So you have to find the one from the very bottom, and yeah, it can, okay. Sorry, but I can't see what I'm doing. And honestly, when I started the second clip, I should have grabbed my glasses. But did I? No, I did not. So, okay. I will show you this in a second with like the last couple so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is a knit stitch. So let me hold my hands a little closer. So this is a knit stitch. So I've picked up the strand from the back, and you can see they're like more kind of above that one because we got to go from the bottom and build back up. So this stitch the stitch that I'm fixing is on the needle the correct way it's supposed to be, and then you want to slide that strand on the needle the same, in the correct direction. And then just as if you were binding off or doing a decrease, you pull that left one over. You know what I mean? You saw it. It happened. Look at this grade. So, okay, so let me show this again. So let me just flip this over. You can see I have 2 rows left to pull up here and fix. So you can see those 2 strands there. So I'm going to pick up this bottom one because you're building it from bottom to top, and you just pop it over the needle and then again in the direction that it's supposed to be. Yeah. Me. Pick that up. Pass that over, and as you can see, so the other stitches around it might be a little weird and wonky just because, and I'm gonna actually undo that stitch right there so I can kind of just stretch the fabric back out, kind of back into place. So yeah, I've pulled all those strands back through, and it, like I said, it does look a little bit wonky, but the tension, especially once I'm wearing it, I don't block my socks when I'm done. I just wear them until I go to wash them. And even then I don't block them, I just lay them out. But yeah, that tension issue will totally resolve itself. So nothing to worry about there. And yeah, and then you just keep knitting, basically. But okay, so Chelsea makes. This will definitely be a longer craft with me, but I feel like that's fair since y'all aren't getting a whip update. So I hope you're able to just kind of craft with me and, or, that I'm keeping you company while you're getting something done, maybe. But, okay, so before we were talking about Chelsea Makes. So she is on Patreon, and I am a patron of hers. Twisting my needles back. So text message. Okay. Sorry. Not sorry. I got distracted. What can I say? So anyway, Chelsea Makes is over on Patreon, and we are doing a frog, hashtag frog or finish mal. So MAL, which stands for make along, which I know that I'm sure that she did that so that people that crochet or weave or spin or whatever. But now I'm also like, maybe I should set a cross stitch goal. Which I actually might. I think that I will, because I really want to get Positivity Rules by Cat. Whoa, I'm definitely gonna have to watch this back for all the things I mentioned. But Positivity Rules by Caterpillar Cross Stitch, I really want to get that done, because Made to Create Sal starts. Okay, so it's the 25th UK time, but if it happens like it usually does, when we like get the emails for the pattern releases and things, because I'm in the US and where I personally am 6 hours behind GMT. So it'll be the 24th for me. So that is the date that I am putting in my head, is the 24th. But anyway, the new Sal starts at the end of January, which is somehow not that far away because today's the 15th. Wow, that gives me 10 days. Good to know. I hadn't actually like put 2 and 2 together on that just yet. but I want to get that done. I want to get Positivity Rules done before Made to Create starts. So I think that might be my cross stitch goal for this month for the Sal. But yeah, or for the Mal, excuse me. So the make along is only going through the end of January, just kind of a quick sprint, I think is how she described it. But yeah, either frog that project and be done, reclaim that yarn, reclaim the tools and mediums that you're using, or finish it, get it done, clear your needles, allow for more creativity to come in. And I am all about that right now. Granted, I'm working on a pair of socks that was not a whip, coming into the new year, but also it's going to be done soon. So I'm not really kicking myself on that. um, but yeah, oh my gosh, I really need to finish some knits. Like some of these have been languishing now for, 1 or 2 years, and I really don't like that. Because the ones that are and have been languishing for that long, most of them, I still want them. I still want to finish them. So, like the elephant cowl that I was talking about actually, because I think I started that in 2017, 2018, and haven't worked on it since then. So I got a lot of stuff that I want to be finishing. I mean, even just garments that I need to finish is ridiculous, which that's going to be one of my goals for the Mal. That is actually my knitting goal for the Mal. I would really like to finish the baby blanket that I'm doing for my best friend. I would really like to finish that, or at least get good progress on it. But I really want my main goal for the make along this month is to finish one of my sweaters, or one of my garments, I should say, because they're not all sweaters. I have, uh, let's see, and I may or may not link all these sweaters that I'm about to say below. We'll see. Probably not. I think I'll just kind of mention the names of them briefly here. Just to like kind of count off to myself how many I have. But I have a breathing space sweater that the body is done. Literally just need to put the 2 sleeves on there. I have what's the name of that cardigan? I don't remember, but nope, don't remember the name of it. It starts with a D. But anyway, it's out of a Harry Potter colorway, actually, the Dementors colorway. Uh which totally made me, I paused because that just made me think of Claire. She's working on a Prison Mike cross stitch right now, which is an Office reference, and the pattern says the worst thing about prison. I don't remember the exact quote. I would be an Office fan if I would watch it, but I haven't gotten to it yet. But I know that I would love it because it's right up my alley. Um, but I think it says the worst thing or the worst part. I literally don't remember. The worst thing about prison was the Dementors. So I just said Dementors, which was the colorway for that cardigan, but it made me think about Claire. Which, oh my gosh, Claire, have you finished it yet? Which she's behind on watching, so I know by the time you get to this video, you will have finished it. But oh my gosh, so excited. And I need to catch up actually. I haven't watched her video from yesterday. That's Claire over at Beautiful Clareity. I have mentioned her countless times on this channel. She is one of my dear friends now. Oh, yeah. Special place in my heart, Claire, and you know this. We became great friends last year. Maybe even year before last, but definitely during last year. Especially with her daily stitch with me's that she's been doing and stuff. But anyway, wow, tangents all over the place. So, breathing space needs 2 sleeves. Excuse the sniffing there, the cardigan out of the Dementors colorway, the body is done. It literally needs 2 sleeves. Well, no, the body is done and most of the first sleeve is done. So I literally just need the second sleeve and the second sleeve and the rest of the first one and the pockets, and it would be done. So I never thought that I was a sleeve island person because sleeves don't bother me. And I don't think that that's the problem on any of these, because you'll notice a theme as I go on mentioning a couple other garments. But I don't have um like sleeve island issues. I just got distracted and moved on and never went back to those projects to finish them. So, oh well. But there's my birthday cardigan, which you all followed the journey on during November. And it actually is basically done. I plan to take out the bind off on I'm planning to take out the bind off on the bottom of the body and use up the rest of the yarn that I have on the ribbing at the bottom of the body to make it just a little bit longer. And then I literally just have to wash the thing and lay it out and steam block it and sew down the pockets. Like, I'm literally so close. I think I already have woven in most of the ends. I just need to finish that part of the body. And then sorry, excuse me. Okay. I was trying to pause, but now my camera is not. It's fine, whatever. So it's not cooperating with me. Anyway, I think the last garment, don't take my word on that. The weekender sweater that I started during December for the blame Dunder Knit Along, which is hosted by Caroline over at the Knitting Vicariously podcast. And excuse me, that knit along is also ending at the end of January. So I really would like to finish my weekender for that because that is the project that I kind of originally started for that cal. But I also am going to be including this pair of socks because they'll definitely be done before the end of the month. And this was totally a I just want to cast something on for myself project. So I'm just gonna place all that blame on Caroline because that's the point of the whole cow. And yeah, we're just gonna move on. So yeah, these socks will definitely be an entry, and hopefully I'll get the weekender sweater done, which guess what? Just needs sleeves. I finished or not. Okay, hold on. I finished. Yay, I rescued it. Did not drop any stitches. Like drop down stitches, I should say. It definitely came off the needle. But yeah, I I finished the body of my weekender sweater, which I only had like to just finish seaming up the shoulders pretty much the last time y'all saw it. But I finished that while I was at home over Christmas. So the body is done and it fits fabulously. I literally just need to do the sleeves. So there are lots of knitting ventures coming, and I'm really excited about them. So yeah, we shall see what happens with all the things. But okay, we are at over 50 minutes now, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and stop here. I don't actually remember where I was when we started today. I think somewhere back here during this black. So I got a little bit done. Basically did a couple stripes there. And yeah, let's see how long it takes me before these socks are done because I am quite literally obsessed, y'all. So obsessed. So, okay. Yeah. Also, did I mention that that I've been watching Twitch streams? I think I did. I now that I'm saying that, I remember that I started mentioning it in the first clip. So, I will link below as always down in the description box. That was an awkward motion to try to get on camera. But anyway, I will link down below the both the Instagrams or maybe I won't. I will just link their Twitch channels, the people that I have been watching and enjoying. Um, Crafty wise, which are the only people that I've kind of found on there so far. Um, yeah, but I will link them down below and I'll definitely give them shout outs again, or actual kind of shout outs in the whip update, which don't worry, I have already planned. I am recording Tuesday. I really want to get an episode out before inauguration day because I'm gonna try to figure out a knitting project to cast on for that day, which I just figured it out. Never mind. It's gonna be a pair of socks. And yeah, I just figured it out. So we don't even have to worry about it. But anyway, I'm definitely gonna be recording Tuesday. And it definitely will be a whip update so that I can update y'all on some things. So yeah, like I said at the beginning, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you find some time this weekend to get some crafting done for yourself. And yeah, stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane. Do what makes you happy, y'all. And I will see you in the next video. Happy crafting. Bye.